Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Daily High with your host, Matt McGregor and Tone Vays. Good morning, Tone. How are you, mate?
Morning, Matt. I am back in Panama, and you are back on the show. Missed you for a couple of days there.
Yeah, thanks, mate. I had the flu and I was sick and it was really, really hard. I tried, but I just couldn't be effed, I suppose, is the best way to say it. But I heard that you were quite bullish in your show last night with Mark. Is that right?
Yeah, I was. We'll talk about it today. You haven't done a show in a while. Why don't I let you go first? Let us know how Black Box been doing, and yeah, and then I'll do my little follow up. I thought yesterday's show with Mark was really good. We did a big deep dive on Nvidia at the end. It was definitely check that out today when you or tomorrow when you wake up for you.
Yeah, I will, mate. I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, we're gonna start at the weekly time frame for me right now because I missed Monday's show, Tuesday's show, and I just want to have a little overlook at what we've been looking at. It's still in that, believe it or not, that same channel, that the downwards channel that it's been in for what feels like forever at this point. The modified lucid stars are moving down by the day, and they're in a really, really good spot to get to turn this wave green on the breakout point, but it's resisting. It's resisting. We keep getting these rejections from the point that it wants to break through. So really, I mean, we've been talking about this for weeks now. There's nothing to really get way, way, way overexcited about until we finally crack through this channel. And this channel's now gotten to the point where I'm just going to draw it just randomly here. It's got to the point where I think that you'll see a crack through and then a smash back to retest and then a crack through again. I don't think it's going to crack through and just be like, that's it. Finally, we've all waited for it. I think that's too easy. I think that's going to be, it's never going to be that easy that it's just buy here and bang, you're away. I think
So
that
so
there's
let
going to
me
be
let me throw a counter to that. I
go that,
think it can, but in December.
right? Right. Yeah, no, look, you think it'll in just one attempt it'll just go, that's it. If you didn't get
If
you've had
if the frustration and the downward channel continues long enough, there'll
mm,
be nobody left to buy it because everyone's going to be like too frustrated.
yeah, I think there's certainly a case to be made, and that's the way that Bitcoin tends to get you as well. That it'll just go bang.
Like
It'll
if it consolidates without breaking last week's high
mm,
and without breaking September low,
yeah,
like if it stays within the September high and September low all the way into Christmas, I think it can break out and go to 80 in like 3 days.
yeah. Actually, I love that as well. Like the longer it consolidates and like the lower this lucid SARS come down, the lower this moving trend comes down. It could break in where's December? Like, oh no, I don't think it can wait that long. But
Exactly. No one else does either, right? Which is why it doesn't need the pullback when it breaks.
yeah. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun when it breaks. But now, like look, I mean, this is obviously not the correct candle as a data error. That should be a bit more red here up to the 62,800. But now all eyes are on. Are we going to come back down and test 56? Are we going to come back down and test 60? Are we in this range here, or are we going to break below this? And I don't think there's too many people that think we're going to come back down way down into the 50s and 40s. But I'm very, very keen to know at what point does this hold up. The quicker it holds up, the better, the higher strength it's got for me. But I don't know. It's. I mean, the market it's a down week, even though we're only 3 days into it. But it's a down week. It's a down week. How down is it going to be? It would make perfect sense for me to come back and test on this 50 simple moving average here at 56. That could be a good entry. He's got a great, a stop loss in place at that point. But I think we're still just playing this monkey business of just higher lows and lower highs until we're not anymore. That's all I can say on the weekly time frame. The daily time frame here, um, isn't giving us the hell of a lot much either. We're still in this exact same consolidation that we've been in. If we start flipping these counts and start getting below 60 here, yeah, I think that we'd be looking for a really good buy in this slot right here. or a recovery and we can go higher. It's just absolutely no man's land, and this is a really dangerous place as well to get absolutely chopped out of. I can't remember where my entry was. I closed it a couple of days ago. I had a pretty decent entry and closed in about 44% profit, which was a nice trade. But I don't remember where that was. I've moved on from that. And I haven't put another trade on since, just because I've been, concerned about this just chopping me to shreds, and I think that it is chopping a lot of people to shreds. There's a good buy right here off the 4 hour time frame when we came back into the moving average below the 200 moving averages here. Got the green diamonds that came out. Are we going to come back and retest it? This is what I'm looking for right now. Are we coming back in below the 200 simple moving average? Can we get a green diamond in there? Is it close enough to the bottom of the previous low? Are we going to break through that? There's no trade. There's no trade for me that I can see that's an easy one right now. It's just really good MRI top here, but there's just no trade on it. Tone, I'm going to come back to you now because as far as I can see, we're in that liminal space, as Fibbo Swanee likes to say, between two trades. I really think that we're going to that upside. I really do think that the same thing everybody else thinks, that we're going to crack that descending channel. But it's concerning for me how obvious of a trade that's starting to look. If this was just some nobody stock that I'd never heard of, I would it would be an easy trade just to break that descending channel there. But the fact that it's Bitcoin and there's millions and possibly a billion eyes on it right now, it's that's scary a bit, right? Like that changes everything. That it's the asset that everyone's looking at. So I don't know. Before you go, Tone, please like and subscribe. Please share it with your friends. Use the affiliate links in the description below. Black Box is coming out with some amazing. We got a brand new dev team on board. It's all coming by guys. By Christmas, I promise you 10 bots and 5 exchanges. It's all going to happen. Tone, take us through it, man.
All
What are
right.
you thinking right now?
All right, let's go. So I'm actually looking at the S&P 500. We got the CPI numbers coming out tomorrow. We will likely do a Twitter space tomorrow as well, the Financial Summit Twitter space. Keep in mind, we are dealing with a weekly MRI top on the S&P. This weekly MRI top happens to come in consolidation mode, not like what happened the last time we got the MRI top. The last time we got the MRI top was more of a blow off top style MRI top. It didn't immediately reverse the price. It took, another week and a half, but this was a nice warning sign to get out of the market and maybe stay out of the market for a little bit, a few candles. Turned out to be a nice 4 candle correction with a massive reversal right off the MRI support line. How does it look different this time? Well, this time we are in consolidation. So unless the stock market rallies massively tomorrow or later today, this is going to be an MRI topic consolidation. I'm looking for a 1 to 4 candle correction. But if it is consolidating like this, I don't even think we're going to correct as much as these arrows suggest. I would like for us to go back and touch this moving average once again. This moving average should be the 50 period moving average, but I will double check. No, that is the 20 period moving average. And I would like for it to come back and hit the 20 period moving average one more time. But because of this consolidation, I'm actually going to be more bullish for S&P going into the election and after the election. Of course, this is one of those elections where I do not want to be invested in the stock market the week of the election. I think it's going to go nuts in all directions. So we're just going to keep an eye on this MRI top weekly. When we go to the daily and the S&P, it looks very nice in the bullish direction. This is probably a green 2. Yeah, green 2. The green star candle can come later today or tomorrow. Sets us up nicely for a second, almost consecutive green candle. There was a red candle in between. S&P's been consolidating. And the S&P is looking really good. If you throw a horizontal channel on here, This is very, very clean. Uh, I think we're gonna stay in this channel. I really don't think we're gonna go far below this channel. I think we'll stay in this channel. I mean, maybe we'll go as low as this. Maybe we'll get lucky and hit the moving averages at the end of this channel, and then after the election, break out to the upside. I think the market is going to break out to the upside regardless of who wins. But we're going to do a whole election. We're going to do a whole market election shows probably starting next week as we get closer and closer.
Are you gonna live? Are
And
you gonna live stream the election again this year? I remember 4 years ago, it was crazy. We were winning, and it was, and then like overnight, it was like, what just happened?
yeah, so
Remember that?
we made a mistake in the last election. We Jimmy Song and I eventually turned off the stream at like 1:30 in the morning Eastern time because we were so sure what the results were going to be. And then when we all woke up, it was the complete opposite, which was very,
I
very
was
strange.
I was there, and it was daytime for me. When you guys ended the show, I was like, all right, feels good. And then like 4 hours later, what?
Yeah,
What just happened?
yeah, and the markets absolutely went haywire too.
Yeah.
So, uh, okay, so let's go to the 5-minute chart. Look at the 10 a.m. reversal. The 10 a.m. reversal is not looking good. We are consolidating. Here's the opening candle at 9:30. We are still within the range of what happened in the first 20 minutes. No 10 a.m. trade today unless we rally massively. Delay the trade to 11 a.m. Let's go over to Bitcoin. We are in this downward channel, as Matt mentioned, and we're still doing okay. We're neither bullish nor bearish in a complete consolidation. I really like the Consensio 4-day chart. All the moving averages are bunching up. And starting in a couple of candles, they're 4-day candles. So probably starting early next week, we're finally going to get the long-term moving average trending up, which has not happened since mid-June. And we're already in mid-October. So that's a good 4-month stretch, which sets me up nicely for my 100% allocation and maybe even a leverage trade going up. I discussed it on yesterday's stream with Mark Wood. Please check that out, guys. Here's the daily chart. The daily chart is flip-flopping on the MRI. I'm perfectly okay with that. I really wanted us to get to this green trend line. The problem is if we get to this green trend line
Hmm.
in the middle of October or in the latter half of October, we're now making a double bottom versus October 2nd, and I don't want to see that. So it creates a bit of trouble for me. Right now, I would either want to see a quick crash down to 59.5 on the close and maybe as low as 58 on the swing, but I want to see that a lot sooner than later. Otherwise, I don't want to see us go below 61. And even 61 is a little bit dicey. I don't want to see us close below 61 and a half, and going below 61 on a swing would be okay. Basically, I either want to see a visibly noticeable low versus the October 2nd low of 60 and a half thousand. And this needs to happen very soon. Or I want to see consolidation without going any lower than we are right now, because I don't want to see a double bottom situation versus October 2nd. It really is that simple for me. The last thing I want to see is here. So here is my, in the tone vase world, there's no way I'm buying Bitcoin. I don't have a box over there. There is no way I'm buying Bitcoin inside. What?
You could almost say there's two blue lines there, Tone.
Right. So this box
Hmm.
is a complete no buy zone for me. And this box is between 61,250 and 58,750. Like right here, up until October 13th.
Hmm.
Like this is an absolute no buy box for me. And it's like the MRI is not even going to help me here, right? Because there's no way we're going to have an MRI buy in this box either. because this creates a double bottom versus the October 2nd bottom, and I don't buy this zone ever. So this is my ultimate no buy zone. Doesn't mean it
That's
can't reverse from the zone, and it probably means it will reverse from the zone because everyone loves the tone-based counter trend indicator. But I am not buying in this box. I would rather buy above 63, or I would rather buy below 59 and a half. But below 59 and a half starts to create its own problems. So ideally, today's the last down day. The CPI numbers come in tomorrow morning. Everyone is happy, and Bitcoin goes to 65.
Yeah, it's so funny you say that because that box, I completely agree. I mean, I just wrote a note here. We're both in agreement that we're in liminal space, as Bibbo Swanee would say, in this point right now, and I agree completely. But it's so funny because if we recover, we don't get into that box and go higher. I'm very, very bullish. And if we scoot way down below that, but still stay above 54, and we do it very, very, very quickly, I'm very excited again. It's like it's just that
Yes.
box is in that time frame I don't like.
Yep, that's correct. And as long as we hold this trend line, and because this trend line has 2 points, and one of those points is a little, iffy, this can always be pivoted. Like this line has a lot of variance. This line can be as steep as this. This is as steep as this line can be, and I can seriously pivot this line and still not violate the tone-based
Right.
rules of trading.
Right.
In fact, this is going a little bit out there, but I can probably even pivot this line to the downside
No,
without violating the
that's
tone-based rules of trading, right? But
it's fine.
this
Yeah.
green line that I have has a lot of leeway. So as like Matt said, as long as we're not, I'm gonna say it differently. Matt said as long as we're not breaking 54, I'm gonna say it as long as we're not too close for comfort to 54, which probably means around 55.50. And if we do get to as low as 55.50, we can't spend more than an hour there.
Yes.
So the closer you get to 54, the less time you need to spend at that price. So at say 58, we can spend a day. At 59, maybe 4 hours. At 58, maybe 2 hours. At 57, maybe an hour. And at 55, maybe 20 minutes. Right? So the closer you get to that 54, the less time you need to spend there, and that creates a beautiful buy the dip. But you won't know it in real time. At least I won't know it in real time unless it's on an MRI buy. Otherwise, I gotta buy on the rebound.
Yeah, man. I think we did essentially say the same thing. You just put it more eloquently, but that's the same thing.
All right, and that's about it. Oil is dropping down. Probably means tensions in the Middle East are slowing down, but we'll see. And gold is pulling back as it should off of, no, wait, should it? Let me see. What's the MR? No. Well, we had the extension C. I still think we're gonna reach our MRI top. I'm waiting for those CPI numbers tomorrow. I think we're good on the analysis for today, and the S&P market is looking nice. We're starting to tick back up. It is 10 a.m. on the dot. This is not a 10 a.m. reversal trade for me. This looks more like a breakout trade versus yesterday's high. But I would never hold S&P long past 2 p.m. today because the CPI numbers come out at 8:30 in the morning. So even if we do get a massive rally, most of the professional traders will be selling at the end of the day because they don't want to hold it into a massive market mover off hours.
Yeah, because of the unknown. Yep, totally. We need to know what we know. All right, Tone. I've got a dev meeting in 1 minute ago, so if we can wrap it up, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Thanks, guys. Thanks again for joining. I'm sorry I missed the last 2 days. I'll try and be more healthy for the rest of the week. It's great to see you again, and we'll see you the same time tomorrow. Thanks, Tone. Thanks for coming in.